Alright, hello. Welcome back to my Devil May Cry playthrough. This time we're going through mission 2. Now, once again, before we actually start the mission, I do have something that I want to talk about. Some fundamentals. I know it's pretty boring at this point, but there's actually not that many left. I think maybe one or two more things after this, and we should be done, so... For these first few missions that doesn't have much to talk about, I suppose we can just quickly get these things over with. Anyways, without further ado, today the fundamental stuff that I want to talk about is the lock-on system. Now, I've seen quite a few times in all kinds of places that people complain about this game's lock-on system. Some people say that they don't know what they're locking onto, that they can't really choose their targets, and it's just over a mess. Now, while I will admit that this game may not have the best lock-on system, however, there are some things that the game doesn't necessarily teach you, but it's very good to know that will help you, well, I guess, manage your lock-on a little better. So let's get straight to that. Okay, so I figured that the best way to demonstrate this is actually in Bloody Palace, because I can, well, spawn these tentacles, or roots, whatever you want to call it, and they just stay on the floor and stay still, so I can actually demonstrate this a little better. Now, let's get straight to it. So, of course, you lock on with the lock on button, which is usually R1. So, with R1, you lock on. Simple. But who exactly do you lock onto when there are multiple targets? Well, as far as I can figure it out, this game will automatically lock you onto the closest target. You may say that is very limiting. You can only lock onto the closest target. Well, not exactly. There are ways to switch targets. Now, if I want to lock on the guy on the right, what you can actually do is to tilt your left stick, your movement stick, towards the other guy. As you can see there. And you lock onto that. Simple. Okay, this level is a little better to demonstrate this because, well, the tentacles are a little bit more apart from each other. So, now, once again, when you lock on, tilt the stick towards the target that you want to lock on. For example, you can see there, I can freely choose between left and right targets. But it's actually unrelated to where Nero is facing. So it doesn't matter whether Nero is already locked on to another enemy. If your stick tilt towards the new target you want to lock on, he will lock on to that one. As soon as you let go of the R1 and just press it again, it will go to the next one. Now, there's a limitation to this, is that while it has kind of a 4-direction choice that you can choose, for example, right now, there's left, right, and front. You can't really choose which enemy you lock onto within that specific direction. So, for example, right here, I want to choose the tentacle that's like on the top right there. It's a bit difficult. You can't actually choose that. If I walk to here, now I can choose it freely. Because now, that tentacle originally on the top right is now the center, instead of top right. So, now I can kind of choose it a bit more freely. But otherwise in here, in this position, you can't really reliably pick that one. So that's kind of the limitation of using this method. That being said, this game doesn't exactly require you to be very precise on like which target you pick. So this kind of like general 4-direction choice of lock-on is, I would say, sufficient in, well, I dare say 99% of circumstances. So, and last but not least, we can, well, press the left stick to switch targets. But as far as I can tell, this method is, the result is pretty random, really. There's a particular order to it, but I can't seem to figure out what it is. As you can see there, the order changed again. If I stand on this position, I really can't exactly figure out what the order of switching target is with this method. So yeah, I don't have much else to add to it really. I really don't use that method. I just mostly tilt my left stick. So there's that. Well, anyways, if you didn't know that you could just tilt the left stick to choose a new target, now you do. And I hope that at least one of these methods works for you. Anyways, back to the mission. Okay, with all of that boring stuff out of the way, we can finally start the mission. Now, as you can see at the bottom right corner, we've finally escaped Overture Jail, and now we're adding in some Gerber. So I expect that, well, most people that watches this video should already know about what Gerber does, and Overture, of course, so I won't really spend time going deep into those breakers. Maybe in the next mission, when I bring the other breakers, I'll have more to say, but for now, let's just start the mission. Now, this is actually the second time I'm recording this. Not because of the game's fault or anything, but it was that OBS was being a doo-doo again and refused to record my audio. More like the game's audio, I think. So we're gonna do this all over again. Now, I have no problem playing this game over again. I love this game, but I really should watch out for those little OBS errors in the future. I really don't want to waste time recording other games, for example, just to do... Anyways, let's get right to it. Remember the little dance, jump, and enemy step. And easy C rank. I think that's good enough. Man, I see a lot of people like struggling with getting high style ranks as Nero. If only they knew this little cheese, I think most of them will do just fine. There we go. Oh, there comes the scissors. Nero is actually very good against these scissors. As you can see there, even if they do counterattacks, you can just snatch them out. Like, you don't even need the Helter Skelter. You can just brute force this by using Snatch. Very easy. Excellent. Alright, off to a good start. As you can see there, established point is way above requirements. Doing real good. Now, this way is actually an optional fight. And if you remember, this game's mission score relies on the average of your battle scores. So in theory, if you're doing well, like what I'm doing right now, way above like 6,000 even, you could just skip all the optional fights. But I'm just going to do this because this one's actually quite big, so it wouldn't have a problem with the score. So in general, I would recommend that you skip most smaller fights. If it's big ones like this, it's okay. But if it's smaller ones, like with 2 or 3 enemies, it's generally good practice to just skip them overall to avoid any chance of dragging down the score. So that's that. There we go. Well, I guess the score still went down a little bit, maybe? I'm not so sure actually. I didn't keep track of the exact score. I just remember the rough. It was roughly about 6,500 or 700. Anyways, let's go.
Not making it easy for me, huh?
Don't really have to fight these roots because, actually, I should mention these roots, whether you kill them or not, doesn't actually affect your score at all. So you could skip them or kill them. It doesn't really matter. By the way, this cutscene really reminds me that like these guys, like the Hell Kindness, they're actually really dangerous. Like in reality, they can like slice through cars in just a single sweep, which is like really different from what you would expect fighting these chumps. Like as Nero, these guys are really like nothing, but in reality, they're actually quite dangerous, I guess. Alright, as we mentioned... Oh, god damn it. Well, with 2, it is a little more dangerous, I guess. Since you can't really control both at the same time, but... Ouch. If it was one-on-one, these guys are really easy. As Nero. As you can see there, you can just snatch them out of their counterattacks. So. In theory, they are completely harmless, at least one-on-one against Nero. So just don't do what I did. Just deal with them one by one, and you should be fine. I was a little too cocky there, so just don't do what I did. And if you break that red orb, you will trigger a optional fight once again. Arguably speaking, this fight is smaller, so if you are looking to retain a high score, you really shouldn't do this fight. But I think for the purpose of this video, we are doing just fine, so it's okay. Oh man, you are tough. Wow. There we go. That's okay. Our score didn't drop that much. It's fine.
Let's get airborne. Right now. Trying to stop me. Oh, what happened? Yeah.
By the way, I must admit that running off Max Act, even though it's my idea, is really tearing through my heart. I'm really starting to miss max acting on the Aaaand. I do that a lot in my when I actually play this game. So not being able to max act the Aaaand is really suffering. Oh. Anyways, once again, this is also an optional fight, so just keep that in mind. You don't have to do this.
Come on.
Oh, and by the way, you may see me using the knuckle quite a lot. For those that don't know, if you press the Buster button during a Requiem attack, you will do a knuckle. Is it called like knuckle bringer? Anyways, it's a knuckle. It's a punch. It's a little punch. What it's good at is, besides the extra damage, it can stop people from being knocked away. which is very effective, a very important move for Nero. So, if you didn't know that, I would suggest that you start practicing that. The really easy way to use Ring and Knuckle is, well, for one, I think the rooted spin is a really good place to practice Ring and Knuckle. But in general, after any attack, you can just try to press the Buster button real fast. But in general, I think the easiest ones to add Knuckles in would be longer attacks like Streak and Shuffle. And that, what was it? Payline? So in general, just keep that in mind. Oh yeah, since we don't have much to talk about here, I actually want to say something about DT. Now I know that some people like to save up their DT for healing purposes. I would argue that it is actually not the most efficient way to use it. Now, while DMC5's DT in general just heals you up quite a bit faster than, for example, 3 or 4, I think, but it is actually way less efficient compared to reducing the damage taken in the first place with the armor that you get in DT. So I would suggest that if you are, for example, going to charge in recklessly, just pop your DT first and then go in. Especially for this game, as long as you don't falter or get knocked back, your style rank will not drop even if you get hit. And the best way to tank hits like that is actually to use your DT, as it gives you, well, higher armor and just overall resistance to stun. So yeah, overall I would suggest that you save up your DT for charging in, going in on the offensive, or using them as iframes, instead of saving them up to heal after taking the hit. Oh, that was dangerous. I think the first two methods of using it is way more efficient. Oh, goddamn it. I missed. Oh, goddamn it. Oh, you little. Alright, alright. That's okay. See? We can taunt our way back to S rank. All good. All good. Hell yeah. Let me out of the way. And go. Excellent. I didn't know what hit. Oh. I think the ricochet from the Gerbera killed it. My palm strike didn't even do anything.
Really sick of this stupid.
That's a little weird. Anyways, we are in general doing good. Doing good. This fight I would recommend just skipping entirely. Or at least that's how I usually do it. I don't think those enemies are tanky enough to really style on, even on DMD. In theory, you could chain together with these two guys, but I think it's just not worth it. In my opinion, it's not worth it. And also, when you got that hatch thing, those guys despawn like that. So it's really whatever. And by the way, if you guys remember, when I cross here, it will trigger a cutscene if you fall down. An easy way to skip, and you'll get locked into a fight with two berserkers, which is, in my opinion, also a bad spot to get higher style ranks. So instead, what we're actually going to do is to jump over this trap like this with the triple jump, and you can skip the fight entirely. Sweet.
Oh, man, getting sick of this. Let's get airborne. Not gonna lie, this new arm is pretty sweet.
Alright, we are right at the boss fight, so let's call up Nico and restart our breakers.
Phone.
Alright, hit the shot. Let's go.
There's no.
Alright, breakers are all good. Let's go fight the boss. Oh wait, actually, hold on. I think it's best to do a little bit of an explanation before that. So let's pause right here. Okay, so you probably know we're going to fight Goliath. He's a relatively simple boss, of course. Mostly he just tries to punch you. Now, if you think you're really good at fighting Goliath, then, well, I guess you can skip this part completely, but otherwise, let's say, wouldn't it be good to know what type of punches he will throw, at what position, stuff like that? So, on that note, I've made this little PowerPoint chart, so let's take a look. Now, given that Goliath is a big boy, he has attacks built to hit different zones around his body where Nero stands. So basically there are 4 zones around his body. One is near his feet in front on the ground, another one near his head in the air, and then on the opposite side there's near his feet behind him and behind his back in the air. And for your reference, I have written out at least most of his attacks in these 4 zones. Most importantly, take a look at the top right corner. Now that one that I highlighted red, the quick 1-2 punch, is the most dangerous because it literally has no wind up. And if you stay near his head and just wail on him, chances are you are probably going to get hit. And on DMD difficulty, that is a big no. That is dangerous, especially when Goliath enters his DT. That thing will hit like a truck, so let's not do that. So given this knowledge, here's how I do this fight. I usually sort of go in a circle rotation, where I'll stand, for example, at the front on the ground to bait out his attack. Once he starts attacking, I'll jump to any other of the 3 zones, and I'll attack a little bit, do a quick combo or maybe a streak, and then I'll jump again to the next zone. Rinse and repeat. And that's about it, really. So I hope my little chart helps. I mean, this whole thing is no rocket science. Should be easy enough to understand. Okay, I hope that explanation helps you understand how to fight Goliath properly. And let's actually do a demonstration, I suppose. Now, since I'm actually having Gerbera equipped right now, I guess this run will do the Gerbera method. I'll mostly be using Gerbera to dodge attacks. I'll also include a clip of doing this fight without Gerbera. I hope that helps. Anyways, let's jump right into it. Alright, I hope I don't actually botch this too hard. It may surprise you, but Goliath is actually a boss that I had quite a bit of trouble with for quite a while, really. Well, anyways, let's get going. Here we go. Boss fight. Let's see if I can no damage this.
Maybe I will. Sorry, I'm about to kill you.
And dodge. There we go. Oh. Dodge. As you can see, jumping right into it, at least with Gerbera, is out. Mostly safe, goddammit. And there goes my no damage run. Not really, but oh well. Oh, be careful about that. That ground pound can actually hit you if you stay too close.
It's your grave. Jack it up all you want.
Oh, that was close. I stayed way too long there. Remember, guys, just alter between back in front. And I think it's time to use some of this. That should be fine. Oh! Sometimes do that. Oh! And he's doing the tornado. Now during this little tummy tornado, it is actually great to just pop your DT and do showdown. Because that tornado actually cannot hit Nero if he's in DT. So that's good. And now we can jump away. Ah, this is going quite smooth, actually. There we go. And he's down. Give him a little present. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, swing him. And into the tower. Oh, and I think he went DT. Goliath, I think under 25% health, will go DT, no matter what you do, so there's that. And by the way, this golden statue right here, if you break it, it will drop health. I think. Did it? I'm pretty sure it does. We already took it. Hold on. I'm not so sure. Oh, there we go, there we go. He has to break it completely. There we go. Oh, oh, oh. Careful about that. Anyways, oh. Oh, there we go. Remember, guys, he may charge you if you get far away, and you can buster that, so do remember to keep an eye out for that. There is a sweet surrender on the floor, but that's a DLC item. We're not going to use that. Oh. Oops, I think I hit the cup. God damn. Oh, jump away, jump away. Oh, I think he's going to do the tornado, so jump right in. Wait for it. There we go. And showdown. There we go. Nicely done. Alright, overall that went quite smoothly. Not bad, not bad. If I do that say so myself. Ooh. 8400. Not bad, not bad. And there it is. Mission 2 S ranked. Alright, as I've mentioned, we're gonna do this with no Gerber this time, so back to the boring or overture set. It's okay, you won't see that ever again after this mission. We're gonna switch to other breakers. Alright, I hope I don't botch this too hard. Alright, let's go. As you can see, I already took damage, so this is not going to be a no damage run. But maybe I can no damage the boss. You never know.
Maybe I will. Sorry, I'm about to
Now, don't stay near his head. And jump. There. Nope. Remember, small bursts of attacks and jump away. I think Payline is just overall very good for this job. Like, quickly getting to the ground. Oh, dodge that swipe. Nope. Oh, big wind-ups. I like that. Good, good. Nope. No, you don't. As you can see there, the attacks he does when you're on the floor is really slow, so I think it's just best to bait out his attacks on the floor instead of in the air, which is usually way faster.
You're great.
Well, anyways, back to the fight. Let's light up this Christmas tree, shall we? Hell yeah. Look at this Goliath tree. Do a little bit of this. Save that DT though. Don't spend it all. No. Remember, he's going to do the tornado. So. Oh, we can keep catching overtures. That's fine. Oh. No. Ooh. Ooh. That's okay. We'll leave one. Oh. And there we go. Tornado. That means shoulder. And let's get out. No point staying in there. Even if you keep staying in there, there will be a cutscene that forces you to jump out. So better to just jump out yourself. Oh, hey, downed him twice. That is rare, actually. There we go. By the way, as far as I can observe, if you buster with DT on and turn it off during the buster, it won't decrease your damage. So that's what I usually do. Oops, I think I missed that charge shot. And by the way, you can also do this. If you didn't saw what I did there, I used the iframes from the DT to survive the blast, and then immediately do a dodge. And because that blast wave still has hit points, I directly changed into table hop. That's a nice detail that you would probably want to know for a later mission. This one is not that important against Goliath. It's a nice thing to know for later mission. Trust me. Keep that in mind. Oh, jump. There we go. Now, we're doing relatively fine. There we go. And there you go. Okay, and that's about it. I hope you learned something new about this game in this video, whether it is lock on or maybe how to deal with the scissors, or maybe about how Goliath decides his punches. I hope at least some of this helped you, and I guess I'll see you in the next mission.